Imagine you look down into what was once a city, now engulfed in a blazing inferno, built inside a vast fissure in the earth. This metropolis, suspended on the sides of cliffs, is burning and collapsing to the chasm floor. You hear the screeching wails of agony of tens of thousands. You have blood on your hands. Your eyes water as you gasp for air between torrents of fiery wind and smoke. This is a bit graphic, my bad. Your nose fills with the putrid stench of burning flesh. You expect to feel the thrill, a heady euphoria, a joy and lust for battle. Are you not victorious? Yet, you feel sick. A messenger arrives and informs you that your wife is burning in the inferno below. Mortified, you think, who could have caused this? This suffering. You, this devastation was ordered by your hand. The burning of Rathalos, the Rift, was a seminal moment in forging Dalinar's character. With the aim of putting an end to a rebellion in his brother's empire, of maintaining order and unity, Dalinar accidentally killed his wife, Evie, a beautiful, caring woman he always thought of as too good for him. As a result of his commands, Adolin and Renarin would grow up without a mother. Due to his inability to control the thrill, thousands more died than he intended, and the Rift was wiped off the map. The unity of the Empire was preserved, but at what cost came that victory? The lives of tens of thousands? His wife? His sanity? Ravaged by regret, forced to reflect, Dalinar couldn't handle the weight of his actions. In the following years, he drowned himself in wine and spirits to raise his spirits, if you know what I'm saying. He sought out the Night Watcher to relieve his terrible anguish. Yet, a few decades after the incident at the Rift, Dalinar relinquishes his Shardblade. He trades a weapon that fed his hunger for the thrill, essential for conquest, for bereavement. Dalinar helps unite the High Princes, 10 princedoms, under a single banner. He learns to read, taboo for a soldier in a Alethi society. He bonds the Stormfather. He gets the girl, Navani. Alright, this is obviously the most important feat here. Roger that, Sanderson. You're saying if we change for the better, you get the girl. Noted. Dalinar forms the Coalition of Monarchs. He founds the Knights Radiant. He learns to control his emotions and the thrill. Okay, those last 3 were essentially soft skills, and this is starting to sound a lot like some Ivy Leaguer padding their resume, but you get the idea. Over the course of the books, Dalinar becomes a changed man, like a philosopher's stone turning iron into gold. Dalinar, taking step after step in the right direction, undergoes a mind-bending transformation. This peacemaker, this unifier of nations, is the same man who decades prior believed peace to be hell on earth. Dalinar thought peace to be a dull, mundane torture. He was a warhound with an insatiable hunger for combat, a fearless warlord, a barbarian tyrant. At one point, he tears off his shirt and tries to wrestle attendees at a formal dinner. Consumed by the thrill, for 400 meters, he charges alone through the direct line of fire of an archer firing black, spear-sized arrows. The black arrows lodge into Dalinar's armor in such number that he looks like a thorn bush, earning him the nickname the Blackthorn. At one point, in his lust for power and conquest, Dalinar charges up a hill with the intention of killing his own brother to seize the throne and take his wife. He stops himself, just in time. Goddamn! Dalinar's past is almost as bright as my future. As in, it's dark. Not very bright. Alright, a couple more, and then we'll move on. Due to his deep depression, after accidentally killing his wife, he's so drunk that on the night of his brother's assassination, he's unable to help. Filled with regret about the Rift and from ransacking countless villages and cities, Dalinar develops severe PTSD. He neglects his children after their mother's death. He eases his pain with years of alcohol abuse. Yikes. Okay, you get the idea. Dark past. Dalinar's story bears much insight and wisdom. A resounding message I find particularly clear is that it's possible for you to change. Seeing these two different times in Dalinar's life, they appear to be two different people. This idea of becoming a changed man comes to light in a conflict between Amaram and Dalinar in Oathbringer. Inside a throne room, they lock eyes with each other. Seething with anger, Dalinar is aware that Kholin once saved Amaram from a shardbearer, armed with nothing but a spear and dagger. But, in return, Amaram killed Kholin's soldiers, enslaved him, and took the shardblade for himself, believing he could serve the Alethi better with it. Alright, dialogue. "You murdered defenseless men," Dalinar said, through gritted teeth. "Men who had saved your life." Amaram stopped, lifting Oathbringer. "And what of the hundreds, even thousands, your wars killed?" They locked gazes. "You are a hypocrite." Alright, I hope you enjoyed the dialogue. To be honest, Amaram is right. Dalinar murdered thousands of defenseless men throughout his conquests and at the Rift. But that merciless warlord isn't who Dalinar is anymore. Upon reflecting on Amaram's and others' accusations later, Dalinar says, "Sometimes a hypocrite is nothing more than a man in the process of changing." Let's take a moment here, folks. What a line. Goddamn. Of course, if we change, then at some point we're going to contradict ourselves. You can't always avoid being hypocritical. If you've been telling your circle, alcohol is terrible for your mental and physical health, never drink, but then you're caught cracking open a cold one. If you've been talking to your friends about how important sleep is, about a full 8 hours, about no electronics before bed, but then you're caught scrolling Netflix at 3 a.m. If you give relationship advice, but have made the same mistakes you're preaching solutions for, well, in all these cases, what you say or do may be right, but your past won't always serve you. What I'm saying is that as we move towards our destinations, whether it be better morals, better character, a better life, at some point, we're going to disagree with how we acted in the past. We're going to be hypocritical. Now, I'm not saying it's okay to be a hypocrite. I do not respect weakness or lack of character. Dalinar says later, "I will take responsibility for what I have done. If I must fall, I will rise each time a better man." He also says, "You cannot have my pain." That's for him and him alone. Dalinar accepts his past faults with dignity. He doesn't hide from them. These quotes stuck with me because they represent both total accountability and also a striving to become better. The truth is that it's often by making mistakes that we learn. Dalinar's past decisions are a painful testament to what is wrong. One's wisdom does not come from experience. It comes from reflection on experience. What causes him to be a hypocrite is what gives him the wisdom to not make the same mistake. These quotes enable me to adjust the way I steer the ship that is my life. I accept that sometimes the heading was wrong, that it was my fault. Adjust the wheel accordingly and keep sailing forward. I'm not sure if that was cringe or poetic. I'm gonna go with poetic. Boost my ego. All right. Dalinar's victory at the Rift, if you can call it that, did unify the Empire. He stopped the rebellion by slaughtering every rebel. A very effective tactic, if you ask me. This sent a clear warning to other potentially rebellious high princes. However, Dalinar remarks, "Sometimes the prize is not worth the costs. The means by which we achieve victory are as important as the victory itself." Another powerful quote. You're on a roll, Mr. Sanderson. Thank you. In our lives, how we achieve victory holds its own weight. Do we cheat our way through life? Do we push others down to prop ourselves up? Do we attain the victory of a clean car by throwing our Starbucks milkshake out the window? There was a trash can just down the street. In all seriousness, perhaps a more reasonable question might be, are you willing to give up time with your friends and family for your goals? You have to decide what the cost of victory is for you. Is the price worth paying? I've discussed how Dalinar has changed, but what did this process of change look like? Is it possible for you to change? Can an addict become clean? Can a fat person get in shape? Can a man with no women figure out how to get the girls? Can someone dull become someone charismatic? I don't know what your dream is, but this knowledge may help you get there. Dalinar does not accomplish this character shift unaided. He had the book The Way of Kings, written by King Noadon, to guide him. The birth of his 2 sons and family life made him more empathetic. In later years, he had the Stormfather and the Visions to turn to for advice. He had Navani by his side, a well-trained politician to aid him in mastering the political arena. He had countless generals, teachers, and friends to help him along the way. He had the codes, simple, structured rules to follow. Codes which he committed to despite what others said, some of which include being prepared for battle at all times, never drunken on wine, to restrain from needless duels, arguments, or squabbles, to keep the mission in mind, to require no action of one's soldiers that you would not be willing to perform yourself, to not abandon allies on the field, nor to profit from the loss of one's allies. We can make our own codes, our own rules, our own schedule to get us to our destinations. We don't pass through life alone. We have friends, family, connections. We have support. If you can't get mentorship or support from those around you, in the 21st century, we have the knowledge of humanity in our pockets or computers. We have books available on any topic you can think of. Education at our fingertips. First of all, congratulations for making it this far into the video. You've probably got an attention span better than the majority of people. Good job, soldier. But we're not going to stop there. Your actionable step is to take the next step towards whatever it is you've been thinking about doing for months. You know what it is. Don't lie to yourself. What is the next step you can take to move that project or life change in the right direction? Stop this video right now and go do it. I'm waiting. Press pause. If that's not possible, block out some time today or tomorrow to get it done. Just 10 or 20 minutes. It'll be hard work, but discipline equals freedom. A small step can lead to a big change. Often, with achieving goals, it's not about making massive leaps. Actually changing is the compounding of incremental steps. It's not one workout that gets you in shape. It's workout after workout, day after day. It's not one organic, vegan, cage-free, non-GMO, pesticide-free, stem cell-infused, temperature-controlled, lab-incubated quinoa salad that'll get you a six-pack. No, it's a clean diet over months or years. On journeys, we must keep going. In another seminal moment, Dalinar says, the most important step a man can take. It's not the first one, is it? It's the next one. Always the next step, Dalinar. Lads, thanks for watching this far. Let's get some active recall, just one quick wrap-up of what we discussed. Thank you for your time. Dalinar went from warlord to peacemaker. He goes from ravaging nations to uniting them together. His motto literally becomes, unite them. His journey to becoming this man wasn't paved in smooth asphalt. It was a downtrodden, muddy path in the boondocks, with sharp rocks, prickly shrubs, and countless pitfalls. But on that journey, he learned much. My main takeaways from Dalinar's character are that you can change who you are. We can't change the past, but the past also can't stop us from redefining who we are. We learn from our mistakes, and even if we are sometimes hypocritical, we must, nevertheless, do and say what we think is right. Some victories are not worth the cost. Decide for yourself what you're willing to pay. All right, folks, home stretch. We're ending on a quote to end all quotes. Enjoy. A journey will have pain and failure. It's not only the steps forward that we must accept. It is the stumbles, the trials, the knowledge that we will fail, that we will hurt those around us. But if we stop, if we accept the person we are, when we fall, the journey ends. That failure becomes our destination. To love the journey is to accept no such end. I have found, through painful experience, that the most important step a person can take is always the next one.